Hey guys, welcome back to our grow along where I show you what to do in the garden each week. I'm gonna do some celosias and some marigolds. Celosia has really tiny seeds. These are some seeds that I saved. Because these are really small seeds, I'm just sprinkling them on the surface. I'm gonna press them down a little bit just so that they have good contact. And you should be able to see that I have water in the tray so that it will get water from the bottom. I will also lightly mist the top if it doesn't do a capillary action up. I'm gonna do some hollyhocks. Now hollyhocks are biennial, which means it blooms every other year. So it takes 2 years to bloom. These are some seeds I harvested myself from some last year. Now these are quite a large seed, you can see, and I've sprinkled too many in here, so I'm not being super precise because I want to enjoy gardening. I want this to be my relaxing bit, and if I'm going to stress about it, it's no longer serving its function of being enjoyable. This is another one with super tiny seeds. See how small those seeds are? Now I have been trying to grow this for 2 years, and each time I do it at the wrong time of the year. So hopefully this is our winner. Again, I'm just going to push them into the soil. They're super lightweight. Now the celosia, that can stay outside in the hot sun, that'll be fine. But to make things easy on myself, since some of these need to be inside and some of them need to be outside, the whole tray is going to go inside. And then when they come up, we'll harden them off. All right, some more snapdragons. I love snapdragons. I want to plant them all over the garden. When I grew them in Washington, they would self-seed. So you'd get a bunch of them all over, and they would just take over and have kind of a English garden, cottage garden style. And that's what I'm going for. That's the vibe we want. These seeds are even smaller than the coxcomb. These are just absolutely tiny. A little squishy squish. Russian status. Goodness, those are tiny. It just looks like dust. You know they're kind of a finicky seed if they have a smaller packet inside the regular packet. All right, this one, I don't want them to stick to my finger. I want them to stay in the soil, so I'm just going to press down so that they have good contact. Now bachelor's buttons, it might be a little early, but I have 3 packets and I want to try it. I love any blue flower I can get in the garden. Look at the seeds. I like knowing what the seeds look like. It helps me for seed saving. I save seeds all the time. It started as a happy accident where I try to turn something bad into something good, where I let things go too long and I didn't harvest them in time. Well, I got extra seed for next year. Turn something bad into something good. Now, I'd like to pretend that I do it on purpose now, but the reality is most of the time I just can't keep up with harvesting everything. I get distracted, or I tell myself I'm going to do this tomorrow, I'm going to pick that for tomorrow's dinner, I'm going to get this for whatever. So, this I'm using the Michelle patented scriggle scraggle technique of just kind of stirring the top, a little bit of soil and pressing down. It's highly technical. Oh, you know what I didn't do? A tag. Alright, some more marigolds. On this one I've got to use all the seeds because the packet is now wet from sitting on top of this. Marigold seeds are really distinctive. Half is white, half is black. Probably the easiest ones to learn how to harvest. This one's ready to go inside. On to the veggies. Ooh. Cool weather veggies that I'm starting now are brassicas, so broccoli, cabbage, kale, cauliflower. I am Collards, I don't know if those are in the brassica family. I think it is. And then I'm gonna start some more artichokes. This time I'm gonna try moving where my artichokes are to the front yard in with my roses. We'll see. So far, I've had 0 success when I start them from seed. I got a couple of plants from the store last year, kept them alive through the summer, kept them alive over the winter. They grew really well this year and then completely died after we got a pretty good harvest from them, but we had so much rain, it rotted their roots out. So as soon as the rain left and we got heat, they had no roots to support them and they just died super fast. So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try again from seed. And if it doesn't work from seed, I'll pick up some plants in the spring. Now, if they had plants in the fall, I would just go ahead and do that, but I haven't seen any place sell them in the fall. So, since I have some seed, we're gonna do that. We're gonna try celery, which I have absolutely no clue if it's gonna work or not, or if this is the right time of year. I do not know. I've done 0 research. I opened my seed book with all my seed packets in it, and I said, yeah, let's try. That's all the research I went into that. Everything else I've researched. And we're gonna do some Swiss chard. So, first step is I've got some tags I need to write. Now that the tags are written, it's just time to plant. Now for all of these, I'm just following the same basic rule of thumb. However big the seed is, 2 to 3 times the diameter is how deep you plant them. Now Swiss chard does surprisingly well here through our hot summers if it gets established early, but it also can handle the winters super well. I like to put about 2 seeds per cell. Give it a little. These are large seeds, so they're going to be able to push up through a little bit of soil on top. Now celery, I've done 0 research. Let's read. Start seeds indoors 10 weeks before the last frost. Barely cover the seeds, transplant to garden after frost, harden off before transplanting. 15 to 21 days to germinate, 1/4 inch planting depth, spaced 30 inches apart, and days to harvest. Well, considering this was packaged in 2020, I say we just try it. I'm not going to stress about it. Let's just see if anything comes up. Okay. These are really small, almost like lettuce seeds. Those are really small, so I think the 1/4 inch planting depth is maybe not ideal, but we're gonna follow the little packet. I'm just gonna sprinkle them on top. And I'm going generous because they're old and because I'm told that celery is notoriously a pain in the butt. The bird landed at the, even though I'm right here. That is a great sign. Hi, bird. It's just a little chickadee. All right, we're gonna do some cabbage. Okay, I'm gonna put a couple seeds on each one. Now I do know that most brassicas like a fairly firm soil to root into. And I have had a lot of trouble with brassicas in the past, getting them to make strong little seedlings. I'm just pushing it down into the soil, trying to keep it relatively close to the surface, but trying to make sure that it has some coverage so that it won't completely dry out. Collard greens, really the same as the cabbage did.
All the rest of the brassicas get started the same exact way.
quite large seeds, and they make pretty hefty plants. So if we can get this to work, I'm going to be very pleased. Now this tray I haven't put any water in yet, so I like to put it in from the bottom, and when it's this dry, I am gonna let it sit overnight. My goal is about 1 inch of water. Water came up to here. That's a little bit under 1 inch. I'll get a little bit more. Ta-da! Okay, now remember, it's too hot out here in the summer for these to stay out. So we're gonna be putting these inside, under some grow lights. This is a good day's work.
This week's garden chores. I'm cleaning up my tropicals, like this canna lily, by deadheading and removing spent blooms. My containers are looking hungry, so I'm giving them a slow release organic fertilizer. I should have harvested this corn weeks ago, but I was scared the long grass was hiding snakes. So now we'll just use it for seed. To save seeds from my dill, I find it easiest to put a clean cardboard box underneath the seed heads and then clip them off into the box.